Don't judge me. I made the choice in life. Why? Let me tell you who I am. I'm a barren woman. That's right. I don't have any children, and I'm not ashamed. Listen to what I have to say to all of you barren women. I'm a barren woman. I don't feel no shame. And I'm not gonna ever play your game in society. Why? 'Cause I like things going in, not coming out. I like things going in and not coming out. Why? 'Cause I'm a barren woman, yeah. And I don't feel no shame. No, I'm not gonna play society's game. No, I don't need to have a baby. I like things going in, not coming out. Join me. I'm a barren woman. Yes, I am. Hey,
She's a barren
woman. I feel no shame.
She loves things going in,
but not out. Going in, but not coming out.
when you put it in, she
Makes
shouts.
you wanna scream and shout.
She shouts.
I'm a barren woman.
She's a barren woman.
Yeah. I'm a barren woman. I feel no shame. Like things going in, not out. Don't try to play the game.
Oh yeah, Hassan.
Yeah.
So proud of you. So proud that you are a barren woman.
That's right.
And you feel no shame.
No shame.
No shame at all.
No shame. Society wants you to feel shame. In fact, that's kind of a theme that we've had running through our work, Epstein and I. Children. Having children. And now that we're older, I'm an older barren woman, I'm just going to share with you my perspective on that. Not saying you have to go for it or agree with it, but there are women in the world who make this choice. They don't want to have children.
You see, we've always not only dealt with it in our career, in our marriage, in our life. It's been a big thing for us. I mean, when we first announced to our parents, for example, that we were going to get married, we let them know that they weren't too crazy about us as an interracial. There was a lot of stuff, but the one thing that they were all in agreement on was that they would have grandchildren from us. And when we told them that we weren't, they were very upset. And in particular, my mother. Like Hassan just said, like we've dealt with this our whole career. We were once like a younger couple without children, then we were a middle-aged couple without children, now we're an old couple without children.
Right.
And my mother, years ago, my mother's been gone for 20 years, but when we first told her that we weren't going to have children, she said, Takala. That's what she called me when she loved me, Takala. She, right, you remember, Takashana, Tati, Takala, Jewish stuff, Yiddish stuff. She said, who's going to take care of you when you're old? When you're old, you're going to need children. You're going to die alone. What my mother didn't know, actually, was that many people don't live near their parents when their parents are dying. And nowadays, if you die in the hospital with COVID, you die alone.
You can't even see your parents.
You might have 14 children, but you have to die on, they don't let anybody in the room. So we're going to, I'm not really that worried about it, Hassan. Now, as an old guy, but we've realized that our whole life, because we didn't have children, which is very radical. A lot of couples really look at you like you're a traitor.
Oh yeah, I've had.
You're a traitor.
Yeah,
you're a traitor to the species.
To me, like, don't you hear your clock ticking?
The clock.
That's what you're here for.
It's a species thing.
What are you doing with those ovaries that you're not using them? And it's kind of like
and also that we're selfish.
Yeah,
that you're
extremely selfish.
And you don't want to bring children into the world. That you're very selfish. But you know what? We were able to lead our lives as struggling
Yeah.
artists. We
Yeah.
were able to live in Manhattan and Greenwich Village
Yeah.
because we didn't have children. In this
Right.
tiny apartment,
Yeah.
there's not a possibility
Well,
for...
you remember what my father said to you. He goes, what's wrong with him? He's shooting blanks.
Yeah, he thought I was shooting blanks
Yeah, it's
because
not about
he
a
couldn't
blank.
understand the man that didn't want his family. My father was big on that too. He really wanted the Epstein name to carry into history. Not that the Epsteins have accomplished anything. There's not one single... I'm like the biggest success amongst the Epsteins. This is a family of losers and failures. But, we didn't have that. But you know what? It's given us an interesting perspective about children in general. And one thing that we really have been noticing a lot when you're on social media is that no matter what your ethnic background is, whether you're black, if you're Hispanic, or you're Jewish, people like to call their children princes and princesses, right? They dress them up, and this is my little princess, or when you become a grandparent, this is my prince, my princess. But here's the thing. Princes and princesses, these are the lowest human beings on earth because they come from royal families.
Look at them.
These
look
are
at them.
disgusting human
Yes,
beings. Every prince and princess. And I don't care about the new one, the biracial one. She gave up her title. I guess she's not a princess anymore. But don't teach your children to be princes and princesses. Don't teach them how special they are. Because here's the thing. We don't have children, so we can tell you this. Your kids are not special.
Absolutely
You may
not.
think they're special.
No, they're not.
But
You. Only to you.
They're not special to anyone
and
else.
what happens is when they step out in the world and then everybody doesn't see them because you're stepping out in the world with other people who think that they're a prince and a princess.
Right.
So then you feel like, no, guess what? Everybody's average. Everybody's the same.
You're lucky if your kid is average.
Yes.
Most of your kids really suck. I don't want to tell you this.
Do.
But here's the other thing. Like when you're a real prince or a princess, like Prince William or whatever the hell their names are, royal families, and I mean, give me a break in the 21st century. They have big advantages because they get to network with a lot of rich people. Your kid growing up with you in the projects, when you tell them that they're a prince or a princess, they don't have.
Not a good.
They don't. Then they get in the world and they realize that nobody perceives them that way.
Now, some people will say, well, particularly if it's children of color, that, we're doing this because in society they don't treat them that they are equal in their balance or whatever. But my feeling about that is, okay, it's one thing to treat and teach your child that they are something or worth living, they are special. But when you start to tell them that they're king and they're queen and they're prince...
why don't you tell your children that they should open their hearts and learn to be compassionate and kind?
Yes.
That's our advice. The other thing I want to just slip in here, because I hear this a lot too. Like, I just read it online the other day. I have a friend, her daughter turned like 27, and she's like, my daughter, she's mine. Your children are not your possessions.
No, they're not.
They're not your possessions. She's not my daughter. She's mine. No. You're putting really bad things in people's heads. So as we are barren, like I'm a barren man too.
You're a barren man.
I mean, I don't know if I'm shooting blanks, but I certainly none of my shots.
No.
Thank you, Jesus.
You didn't hit any home runs.
Even Jews thank Jesus when they don't shoot and they're shooting blanks.
And see, here's the thing: you parents now, like I'm saying this right. You know what I'm saying is true. Because since the virus, you've had to be home with those kings and queens and princesses. Yeah. And when the teacher would tell you, your daughter Ashley, like she's very social, she doesn't talk a lot. And you're like, you don't understand her well-being. You don't understand she has to express herself. Now Ashley's in your house talking her shit, and you ain't all that pleased with them, okay? Yeah. Now them kids are home with you every day. All them kings and queens and princesses.
It's not that bad. We're old. Yeah. We're gonna drop dead. And nobody's going to carry on our genes.
Nobody carries on your stuff. Don't kid yourself.
It's really fine. My genes really suck anyway. There's
I don't need to carry mine on.
So, and you know what parents do to children, Hassan? What they do to children? By making them feel so special, they actually traumatize children, which is a perfect segue into what we're going to do next.
Absolutely.
Am I like the king of segues?
You are like just the best.
Did you notice how I segued that in there? We didn't even think about that.
No. And we don't have 15 writers writing for us,
believe it or not, we're writing
this is us,
ourselves.
right here.
I know many people think they must have 100 writers with all
we
these
don't
great
have
jokes.
That. No, we
have 0 writers.
None whatsoever.
But childhood trauma was something we dealt with in our book.
Yes.
Which is over here, what you can and cannot say during interracial sex.
Subscribe.
No, we wanted to subscribe to our YouTube channel. We don't want them to subscribe to the book. We want them to purchase the book.
Are you correcting me?
You can view it as a correction, princess, but actually...
my mother never
okay.
called me princess,
well, with
okay?
good reason.
She
So
never
you
called
purchase
me
the book, you
princess.
subscribe to the YouTube
Yes,
thing,
king.
okay? King of the Jews. That's me. I'm king of the
yes.
Jews.
Yippee!
So, speaking of childhood trauma, in the book, What You Can and Cannot Say During Interracial Sex, we discussed Hassan's childhood trauma, which we'll bring you in the next show. But today we're going to bring my childhood trauma,
Yes.
and later on Hassan will act in this scene.
Yes.
So we're going to act it out, but this is an actual excerpt from our book.
I just want to say the character that I'm playing, her name is Darlene. It's not me. It's someone that Epstein went to school with.
Okay, so here we go. Childhood trauma, chapter 3.
And scene.
I grew up in Canarsie, Brooklyn, New York in the 1970s. Brooklyn was a very different place back then. There were basically 5 types of people. You had your blacks, Jews, Italians, your Puerto Ricans, and a sprinkling of Chinese. Racial tension.
Wait a minute, you left a word out.
Racial tension was often in the air during the late 60s and early 70s. I experienced it firsthand in my junior high school cafeteria. The lunchroom can turn into a war zone at any second. Any wrong look, stare down, accidental bump could lead to a riot. The cafeteria was very tribal. Each group had their own turf, and there was a cafeteria etiquette that was unspoken,
That's right.
however we all knew it.
That's right.
The blacks and the Italians had the biggest sections because they had the toughest guys and the toughest girls. The Puerto Ricans were respected because they were bilingual, and they could fight. The Jews, we had the smallest section. We were great debaters, but lousy fighters. One of the major rules was that no interracial dating was allowed. All groups supported this, and any mixing led to huge fights. No one crossed that line.
That's right.
Then one day, out of nowhere, a black girl starts leaving the black area and starts coming into the Jewish area of the cafeteria. This area was named Israel. Some black girls started chanting and laughing. Woo, woo! Look at Darlene. She's crossing into Israel. What's she going to do? Study or fight?
We're now in the interior of the junior high school cafeteria.
Oh, shit. I see this black girl coming my way, and she's coming right towards me. She had entered into Israel, but she was definitely coming right into me. All the other Jewish kids around me were studying. Maybe because I was the only one not studying, she noticed me. My heart was pounding. I couldn't move.
Excuse me. Wow, I like your red hair. What's your name?
I'm Steve. Can I help you?
Can you help me? Are we in a store? You talk funny. That accent is funny. Look, Steve, I don't know if you noticed, but you can help me with something, okay? They have lemon meringue pie today for lunch. Did you notice that over there?
No, I hadn't
They have
noticed
lemon
that.
meringue pie today for lunch. I wanted to know, can I hold $1 so that I can get it? I love lemon meringue pie.
What do you mean? What do you mean by hold? Are you asking me to loan you $1?
No, I'm not asking you to loan me $1. You a bank? I know you Jewish, but you ain't a bank, are you?
No, I'm not a bank.
Okay, I'm asking you to let me hold $1 in my hand so I can take it over to the cashier lady and I can pay her for the pie that I can hold a piece in my mouth. I think that's pretty clear.
Darlene, I don't have a lot of money, but I'll give you $1 today.
Oh, that's cute.
Here's $1.
You got a Mickey Mouse. Oh, that's cute. I like your Mickey Mouse wallet. Thank you. Steve, right? Okay. I'll be back tomorrow so that you can let me hold $1 for the cherry pie.
What do you mean you're coming back tomorrow? I mean, you know, you can't do this every day.
I can do it Monday through Friday, okay? I'm being nice. I'm giving you the weekends off, okay? You know I could kick your ass, right? You know that, right?
I know you can kick my ass,
Okay.
but I don't want you to kick my ass. I
I'll
just want
see you tomorrow.
Enjoy your lemon meringue pie.
No, I'll
See you tomorrow.
Okay.
Oy vey. Why me? Why does she like red hair? Why couldn't she like blonde hair or some other kind of hair? But you know what? I'm not going to worry about this. Tomorrow's a long way off. She'll definitely forget about this tomorrow.
Next day at school, Darlene approaches Steve. Hi, Steve. How you doing? I'm here to hold $1 so I can get my cherry pie. Remember I told you yesterday the cherry pie?
Listen, Darlene.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to give you $1 today, but I can't continue to do this.
What?
I had to ask my mother today for an extra $1, and she asked me why I needed more money. And I didn't want to tell her what was going on here, so I lied to her. You made me lie to my mother.
Okay, look, Steve.
And now I feel guilty. I feel guilty.
I'm not a psychologist, okay? All I want is $1. That's all I want. I don't want to kick your ass. I told you that.
I'm glad about that.
Because if I do that after school, I'm going to miss practice. And I think you're funny. I think you're kind of cute, too. You don't want me to miss practice, do you?
No, of course I don't want you to miss practice.
You know, I didn't think you did. You seem like a nice guy. Is that your bike outside?
Yes.
Okay, so I'll see you tomorrow.
Every day for the next 3 weeks, Darlene would come over to the Jewish section, Israel, and ask me if she could hold $1. Every day.
I want $1.
It was very upsetting to me. It was really it was hurting my life. And one night I'm in bed. It's the springtime, and I'm in bed. It's like 7 o'clock at night. Every other kid is outside playing, but I'm in bed because my mother wanted me to go to bed very early so that I don't know why. I think she was just a vicious sadist. Who puts a kid in bed at 7 when it's a day beautiful outside? This is a sadistic woman. And you know, I'm laying in the bed. Who could fall asleep? I would be laying there for 5 or 6 hours. And I don't know, something started. I started thinking about Darlene. You know, I started thinking, you know what? I mean, I don't know. But this time I started thinking about her differently. Like, I wasn't afraid. Something else had happened. And, you know, I was a young kid, and all of a sudden I realized that I started thinking about Darlene, and my dick got hard. Okay? No, don't judge me. Don't judge me.
Don't judge him.
Don't judge me. For some reason, she stole my lunch money. My dick got hard. Who knows why? But I started looking forward to it. I started looking forward to Darlene taking my lunch money, scaring me, and my dick getting hard.
So what did you do?
A seed had been planted in my mind.
That's right. And now, I steal his lunch money.
And my dick still gets hard, but the only difference is she steals bigger bills. She steals bigger bills. So that was my childhood trauma.
Yeah.
My mother put me to bed in daylight.
Yeah.
I would lay there, and I started fantasizing. And, you know, who knows why? Who knows why about these things? But look at it, Hassan. Yeah. Because my dick got hard then, it kind of got locked
into
you
were a little boy.
Not that little boy. I was like, I don't know, 14, 13.
You were a little boy compared to who you are now.
Oh, yes. Yeah, even that. It's true. It has gotten bigger since 13.
Yeah.
But the one thing that's been consistent, is that, you know, I kind of like a black woman, you know, like you, who slaps me around a little bit.
Just a little bit. Nothing
terrible.
Nothing terrible.
Yeah. A little worse, as we mentioned a few weeks ago during Black History Month.
Yeah,
you know, the slapping is, you know, but hey, look, whatever gets you off is a beautiful thing.
And we support that. You know, and that's why when you're in a relationship with someone, you need to be honest about what you like, and it should be consensual. Consensual? What's the word?
I'm not going to tell you. You know,
tell me.
If I correct you tonight, you're going to spank my cock.
No. What's the word?
Huh?
Yeah.
Consensual.
Consensual. Yes.
You consent.
You consent.
You
yes.
consent.
You consent. You consented, baby.
Oh, you consent.
You consented. Yes.
Consent.
Yes.
So that's my childhood trauma, and if you tune in next week,
the door. Excuse me.
if you tune in next week, Hassan will do her childhood trauma, and then you could determine for yourself which trauma was worse or which trauma was better. But you know, that whole thing about, you know, children, and we didn't have to teach our children like that whole sex thing. That's got to be really rough on parents. Like, how do you talk to your kids about sex? There's a lot of theories on this. They're all fail. There's no way to do it. You know, however you are, your kid is going to be the total opposite. Like, we knew all these kind of radical people from the 60s, worked at the Living Theater, and they were really radicals, and all their kids grew up to be stockbrokers and hedge fund people. And now if you're a stockbroker and a hedge fund person, your kid will probably grow up, you know, to be a punk rocker or... Okay, so here we go, ladies and gentlemen. This is our show. We call it Dirty Truth-Tellers, and each week we're going to bring on one of our guests. And our guest today is our social critic. You met her a couple of weeks ago. Burlesque queen. Please welcome Clit Johnson. Clit.
How you doing?
Good to see you, Clit.
You too. I'm good to be
You seem
back.
very determined today.
I am determined.
What do you have for us today? What's happening in culture?
Okay, what's happening in culture is I want to talk to the rich people. You know, you heard this Kim Kardashian chick went on an island with 40 of her friends, right? Because she's having a hard time.
Right? It was her
40th birthday, yeah. She's having a hard time in life, right? And she's like, she doesn't want to hear what anybody has to say about her going away. You know what? Here's what I want to say to all of you rich people. Stop putting your shit out there and then feeling guilty when poor people or people don't have what you have say shit to you. It's really split right now. Rich and those that ain't rich, okay? So all of you that have something, just stop putting the shit out on social media. We don't give a fuck. We're trying not to die. We're trying to live through the coronavirus. Some of us ain't got no goddamn jobs. You want to go to an island with your friends, put your ass on the island, but stop telling us that shit.
They like to act like they're bonding. Like during
I don't want to hear
early on during the corona, you know, Madonna was in the bathtub saying we're all in this together. No, actually, we're not really all in this together, because if you've noticed, as the virus has gotten worse and worse, billionaires and rich people never seem to get
unbelievable money.
They do okay though. They can take yachts and they can disappear. But what I find funny is that, like, somebody like Jennifer Lopez, who's a 100 millionaire, but she's still Jenny from the block.
She ain't from no fucking block. You know what? She ain't from. And Miss Cardi B, I like you, but let me tell you something. You can't keep going back to the hood, honey. Them motherfuckers will fuck you up. You gotta stop putting all that shit about getting a Birka bag or not a Birka bag. Who gives a fuck, okay? What you're putting in the bag? Your keys, your Tampax, and your tissues. And if you're from the South, maybe a mitt. Nobody cares about that shit, okay? Nobody gives a fuck about it. And we got to stop that bullshit. I'm tired of the elite trying to make you think that they down to earth and they like you. No, they not like you. They fucking not. And all of you basketball players that used to go to clubs with your chains on, that's why they robbed your ass. Don't no fucking body want to see that shit.
Yeah, nobody
pisses
really
them
needs,
off.
you know what, like, I don't need to see you in, like, $50,000.
Who the fuck cares?
You know, if I wasn't such a pussy, I would mug you for that fucking $50,000.
Oh, you can't fight,
I'm not going to fight. I'm Jewish. Let's face it. Jews, when was, like, has there ever been, like, a great Jewish
I
athlete?
don't know none.
Now, the Jews are going to get pissed at that, and they'll start bringing up, like, Sandy Koufax, but that was in the 1960s.
1800s.
Mark Spitz, another one, but he was a swimmer.
Yeah.
Like, a swimmer is like a bowler. You're not like an unbelievable... I mean, I guess you are a good athlete.
But I want to tell you, there's a... if you know anything about the hip-hop world, there's this woman out here called Jaguar. I think it's Jaguar White or something. She is online spilling all the tea, baby, on all of the hip-hop world. She is coming out the corner. And Jaguar, baby, I just want to say something to you. Watch your fucking back, all right? You are out here telling people who's gay, who's fucking who's doing shit, and whenever you put your shit out there like that, you gotta be, see, I'm protected. Alright, I got a lot of shit going on and I'm protected. And my thing is that if you're gonna come after me, you coming after ancestors. That's my real feeling about it. So what am I here to say today? Okay,
I don't have a clue, actually, what you came here to say.
What do you mean? What am I saying to you?
I don't really know what you're saying.
What the hell I'm telling you?
You're a culture critic.
Yes.
You're a culture critic.
Yes, I am.
And, you know...
And I'm talking about culture.
Didn't Kanye buy his wife a thing about her father?
That so bothered me. Okay, what do you call that shit? A hallucination? What do you call it?
No, it's not a hallucination.
A hologram or some shit like that.
That's what he bought.
You know what? When somebody is dead, dead. Leave them the fuck alone. The man is dead. I don't want to see no hologram or no dead motherfucker. I don't want to go see Whitney Houston. I don't want to go see
once you're
none
dead,
of that
like
shit.
you're dead. Like I'm not gonna
dead.
go pay to see the hologram of Prince.
And they talking about that shit is moving. That ain't your father standing there. He would not want you married to that motherfucker right now. He would be so mad.
Oh yeah, I know. Her father came back. Her father got famous during the OJ trial, right? Robert Kardashian. He was a lawyer, and then his wife Jenner, she made a porn movie where Kim Kardashian sucked some guy's cock, and now
allegedly.
I saw it with my own eyes. It wasn't allegedly. I saw that.
You saw Kim suck cock.
In that video, didn't she suck that guy's dick?
I ain't saying shit.
I don't know if allegedly. Yeah, we should always say allegedly.
Always.
On everything.
Come on, man. You're a Jew. You don't know that?
What do you mean? I don't assume that. I think you're allowed to say that if you saw it with your own eyes, but maybe not. Maybe my eyes were
I don't know what Trump.
See, I wear glasses. I wear glasses.
You don't know.
You know, and don't even mention Trump. Like we're shooting this on Sunday night before the election. So the next time that we're on, either Trump, we may not know if he won or lost.
We may not know.
But how much longer can this nightmare? I mean, every day it's exhausting. He is exhausting me. 4 years of exhaustion.
Yeah.
But anyway, it was great to have you here today.
But I'm telling you, if somebody in your family's dead, leave them the fuck alone. Don't be.
You don't want a hologram from me?
No, hell no, man. I don't want that shit.
You don't want. You can make like a hologram and this.
No, I don't want that shit. It's just like rich people. You know what? If you need something to do with your money, take it and feed poor people.
Never in a million years.
Okay, all of y'all out here that got money, feed fucking poor people.
Have you noticed, like everybody knows, they've been talking a lot about this, that the billionaire class since the COVID has made like unbelievable amounts of money. Like not just Bezos, but all these guys. I forget how much it is, but it's like unbelievable.
Oh yeah, they're making money.
They haven't done one thing. They haven't given like $1 to help other people. They just want all this money for themselves. Well, let me ask you something. You paying for a Uber for me, right? Yeah, that's true. But Michael Bloomberg, he's willing to spend $50 million, $100 million to help Biden get elected, but he doesn't give any money for people who are starving in the streets. Because rich people don't fucking really like They don't care. Let's face it. Okay, they want you to wear their clothes and wear their brand, but they don't want you hanging out with these motherfuckers. There's only one. If you stop spending your money on these motherfuckers, stop buying their clothes. How do you stop buying Jeff Bezos' stuff? How do you do that? How do you do that? Go to Woolworths. Now, but he owns Woolworths too. He owns everything. He don't own Jeff Bezos owns every single thing. And let me tell you, this is what they've done. I'm leaving, man. You know, it's not blacks against whites. It's not South against the North. It's the 1% of the 1% against everybody. They have it all. They have it all. Oh, stop whining, man. I'll see you later. They have it all. Thank you very much. It was great to have you on the show once again. Clit Johnson, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much, Clit. But I'm telling you, they have everybody cutting each other's throats. Meanwhile, the richest people in this world, they are just accumulating everything for themselves. They have it all. And they don't want to share it all. Like, I don't really understand that. Okay, a guy like Jeff Bezos, if he could literally on his own end world hunger, there would be no world hunger at all. And guess what? He still would have $150 billion. Let's not discuss him. You already got the girl with the fake titties, Jeff. Give up a few of your bucks. Calm down, my dear. I'm too emotional. Calm down. Calm down. I'm too emotional. How was Clit? Clit was great. She was absolutely great. Do you want to show the people before we go? Because we're almost done. Why don't you? Could you just bring over? See, since we don't have children, even though we're old and adults, we, sometimes we get lonely for a kid. And here's our kids. And let me tell you, he's a prince. This kid is a prince. He is a prince, and she is a princess. She's a princess. I don't call my daughter. These are our kids. Yeah. And guess what? We don't have to spend $1 on them. Like once we bought them, we don't have to feed them. We don't have to do shit for them. We don't have to do shit. So we didn't even know where they were until we were looking for them tonight. If you're a woman watching this and you want to be barren, get yourself a kid. Since Barron Trump, you kind of took the word, right? Barren. Yeah. It used to just be about a woman who doesn't have anything drop out of it. Barren, different Barron, spelled differently. So these are our kids. Yes. This is Stevie. Yeah, this is Naomi. Yeah, he's giving you his ass. Yeah. So, we're Epstein and Hassan, and this is Dirty Truth Tellers. That's right. Thank you very much. Thanks a lot. Don't lay your kid down like that, man. All right. And now for a review of today's show, here are the Jackies. You left your cup there and I knocked
About
What
a
do you
barren
mean?
woman.
But she has no kids.
So that makes her barren?
Yeah, there's nothing that's ever come out that, man.
That's very weird that she doesn't have anything coming out.
Nothing coming out.
But she loves things going in. I see
loves
that.
it going in. Yeah.
Well, what happened? Clit Johnson seemed to be very different than Clit Johnson of 2 weeks ago.
How was she different?
Well, she sounded different. She looked different.
Well,
her
she was
attitude
really
was
pissed
different.
about things today, man.
I don't know. It seemed like her son lost contact with Clit.
She was really
I think
pissed.
that's a new Clit Johnson.
Well, this Clit was when she
That was like a whole new
her
Clit
menopause,
Johnson.
man. It's
You know, we've
Clit.
been getting a lot of fan mail, Jackie.
We have?
Some people are saying we're the best part of this show.
We most likely are.
We are. Maybe
Let's go talk to them
what
and
we
get an
should do,
increase.
we should do 29 minutes and let them do the last
Fuck
minute.
them.
That sounds good, right?
Yeah,
We're
yeah.
the Jackies.
Yeah, bye.